Hey YouTube, it's Mr. North 14 and today I'm doing a review on the Shark Ion Pro XL. This is the one that has the vacuum bag and it basically takes the trash from the Shark unit and sucks it up into a bag so that after 30 days you can empty out later. So it basically makes the whole cleaning process a lot easier. What I'm doing today is I'm going to do a little review on the actual app because I feel that the app pretty much is the brains of everything and it's how you're going to interact with your unit, so you should know what to expect when you get yours. So I just got mine 2 days ago. Let me tell you, I'm totally excited about it. I liked what it can do. I waited a year before I got it because I saw some of the reviews and some of them was harsh, but they didn't give Shark time to send out updates and everything to make it better, to fix some of their issues. And who in the world has a shark vac picking up wood chucks and pellets and sawdust and rice on the floor? How much rice is an average home going to have? Not a lot, people. Not a lot. Not as much as I was seeing on these videos. But anyway, we're going to jump into the app here. Like I said, I waited a year. They've done a great firmware update. It pretty much does everything that people were complaining about. So let's go into the app here and check it out. Now, you see that question mark? That's the first thing you should touch when you get your unit. Okay, scroll up and it'll enlarge itself. But these are some of the questions you're going to have. Why isn't my robot charging? How do I get my robot to go to specific rooms? And it's going to tell you, hey, you need to set up a map first. Okay, how do I add another robot to my unit? Hit the plus button. You can add a robot that works with the app. So if you have more than one app, Shark Ion robot, that's how you add it. How do I connect my Shark with Alexa? It'll walk you through that. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do when you come into this app. Okay, it's going to tell you, hey, let's map the room. Don't map the room. Say no. Actually, just go in and play with the app first. Okay, and get to know it. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to go to the left side there where you got the 3 little hamburger lines there. I call it the hamburger. Okay, so as you see here, this is going to say what you named your robot. It's going to have an add the robot button. That's how you're going to add if you have another Wi-Fi enabled Shark Ion vac. You're going to get the history. As you can see, I told you I got mine 2 days ago. And it's going to show up here on the screen. And as you can see, it's did 1,298 square feet so far cleaning. It's cleaned, it did about 7 runs. And it's been running for about 3.3 hours. So you're going to get that information in there. It's going to tell you a lot about the history of your unit and where it's been in your house. Okay, so we're going to get out of that, go back to the hamburger little lines on the top left, and we go into schedule. Like I said, I haven't set up any schedules. I haven't set up anything else on here as far as, mapping, because I wanted to have it just clean and look at it and see what type of obstructions it would have in my home first. Instead of trying to make it map and it go through all these, obstructions, the first thing you should do is don't do a map. Hit the clean button, walk with it through your house and see what problems it comes into so that you can know what to fix. If you want to put that blocking tape or the zoning tape, if it goes underneath something that it can't get itself out of. I was finding out all kinds of obstacles around my house that I never knew before. Now, I had a shark vac before this, and it was one of those ones that really wasn't smart, didn't have the camera. It just basically bounced around and hit everything and had the sensors. But it worked well. It cleaned everything I needed it to clean my whole house. So I was really excited about that. And when I seen this come, I said, hey, I got to get this newer model because they're only charging $269 for a $549 regular price vac. Now, right now, you can get it around the holidays for $349. But after these holidays go, it's going to go back up to that $549. This is their premium model. This is their Pro XL with the 30-day garbage filter, okay, in it. So, like I said, I got it from Woo. If you can find it from Woo, go ahead and get it. It was refurbished. But like I said, a lot of the issues that people were having was that it just wasn't doing what they was wanted it to do, because, you know, they wouldn't wait on a firmware update. So it gets 100% charge. As you can see, nothing's broke. Everything works. No dents, no damages. That's a steal, if you ask me, for $269 for a $549 robot that vacuums. So again, we're going to go back up here to the hamburger. I told you about the schedule. You hit on the schedule. It says what you want to do, in morning, noon, or night, and then it asks you some other questions. You can also go into map, and like I said, I haven't did that yet. And you just hit continue, and then it'll map your house, your floors. Like a lot of people complain, say it's taking up to 30 times. It don't take that long anymore, okay? Because people couldn't wait for a firmware update. So here we go. We're going to go to support. Now, support is a good place on the app, because what it's going to do is teach you tips and tricks, you know, how to use your robot, you know, to clean, robot maintenance, features, battery life, before you run your robot. I mean, that's a very place you need to start, because it's going to tell you about home preparation. It's going to tell you about any obstacles in using the tape. You know, there's a lot of people who get these for the first time and don't really go into the reading first. You know, they blank, they get the thing, they let it map the floor, and then all of a sudden they find out they have no idea what things are in the app, and that they're not actually, there's features there, but because they didn't look at the app, they don't know what features are in here. Okay, so we're going to get out of there, the tips and tricks, but come here. This is the support. This is going to help you, you know, with a lot of questions you may have. The manuals in here, you know, how-to videos are in here to help you learn how to work schedule. All that is in the support part. And if you can't do it yourself, if you go down here, it'll give you a number to call customer care. So this is the things you need to be looking for. This is why the app is so important to go through first. So we have support. You know, we have settings here. This is the most important part. Settings, because a lot of people don't know that in settings is where you're going to add some of the features that people have been complaining about, saying, why doesn't it do this? Okay? Like cleaning air notifications. You got to turn that on. So let's say that you downstairs, the vacuum cleaner is working upstairs, and it gets an obstruction. You know, it's going to beep loud. But what if you wanted to notify you on your cell phone, to send a push notification? You have to turn that on. That's why you have to go through this app and see what's going on. Okay? And then what else we have here? We got about this app. We got Shark Bot. That's what I call it. And you go in, and then it says add a new Shark Bot. You can do all that here, but we're going to go into Shark Bot, because this actually goes into the robot, and there's other things here that you have to switch on. For instance, the resume feature here. Okay? What people was complaining about is that they thought the thing didn't have a sensor inside of it to tell it to empty. You know, and it did have a sensor inside of it. You just needed to turn it on. So basically what this is, this resume feature is that it takes the vacuum, it goes back to the unit, it sucks out the trash, and then it goes back to where it was before and continues cleaning. Okay? People were upset because it didn't do that. You know, it was like, it doesn't have a sensor. You're hearing all these people raving at the YouTube videos and all upset. It had it, they just didn't go into the app because they never familiarized themselves with the app to turn it on. Okay, you got robot notification volume. You can turn it up to 100 so that it's really loud, just in case you're in another room. Recharge or resume is on. You got to turn that on. You know, what does recharge and resume means? It means if your battery is running low, what it's going to do is go back to the charger, charge itself up, and then go back to where it was vacuuming and finish the job. These were features that people complained about that you had to go inside of the app and turn on. They were there, but because people don't do the simple thing of learning the app and learning, about everything when they get it, instead of just trying to immediately vacuum and map the floor, they were missing out on these things, and they were sending good units back to Shark Ion. And Shark wasn't going to argue with him. It's like, if you ain't happy, we're not going to bother you. Then there's a few other things here, but the most important here is the firmware version is v3.4.11, so you always know what firmware version you have. When they update the firmware, that means they're updating your machine to do bigger and better things. So always keep an eye on that. Above the factory version, firmware version, is restore factory settings. This is very important because sometimes you're going to have some problems with your unit. And it's just best to take it back to factory settings and start it out from the first day it came, and then just do the simple things by checking back, going into the SharkBot part I showed you about, and just reinitializing things like the resume feature and the resume and charge feature. Just go back in there, put them back in, sit back, and let your your robot vacuum do its job. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this little run through the actual app, because like I said, it's the most important thing about this unit. You need to go in there before you start mapping floors, before you start setting schedules. Get inside this app and learn it, because it's hidden features that you don't know about that you have to turn on. If you enjoyed this, please like. This is Mr. Nor 14. Peace out.